is usually 3 or 4, maybe next year 5 times bigger than the number of H-1B visas which are issued. This is why there is a lottery. So which means even if you have a wonderful application, you still have only one chance in 4 or one chance in 5 to be picked for the H-1B visa. So the chances of getting an H-1B visa is very slim, even if your application is wonderful. So you are better off applying for a green card and finding a way to stay here legally until you get the green card.
And to stay legally, Attorney Golan, she has to make sure that she's able to get on a possible employer, Attorney Golan, before her visa expires?
Look, to stay legally, she needs to find a way to stay either on a student visa or find some kind of a working visa which will permit her to stay.
It's tough. It's interesting that she said she and so many dozens of friends came here on a student visa and they all went for the lottery, and not one of them was picked, for the lottery. So she said she is out of funds, and but she's an intern in a law office. She's not from California though, so she's intern in a law office, and she wanted to find out what can be done. Can the law office petition for her, give her a work visa?
Again, a work visa she already applied for. This is a H-1B.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So what does the employer have to do to help her?
Well, the employer can file for a green card, put her on a waiting list, and maybe send her back to school.
I see. Yes.
I'm not familiar enough with her circumstances.
Yes.
I'm not familiar enough with the rest of with the employer and the type of business and whatever.
Right.
Okay. So I cannot give her specific advice, but in general, the employer should make an application for a green card for her, put her on the waiting list, and find a way, help her to stay in status.
Attorney Golan, for the general information of our listeners, is it true that to be able to get an employer to petition for you, it is very important that the company would be able to offer you a position related to your particular experience and skill? Is that true?
Well, it is useful if they offer you a job, if they offer you a position related to your studies, to your education, or to your experience, because otherwise,
yes, anybody
could apply for the job.
Right.
Okay, for example, if you have a degree in music, okay, and somebody offers you a job as a secretary in a law office, which means anybody can apply for this job.
Correct. Can student visa holders also apply for a business visa? Is that something that if they decide, for example, to put up a business, that's something possible?
If they decide to put up a business,
yes,
which means they want to change status from F1 visa to E2 visa.
Yes,
it's possible if they have the funds, if they meet the necessary criteria.
So in other words, they were mentioning the fact that possibly if they have friends, let's say back in China, who would want to put up an office or a company, and she could perhaps be an international representative based here. Is that a possibility, Attorney Golan?
It is a possibility.
Very good. So those things are possible. And is there a limit to the student visa? Meaning you can always have a student visa forever as long as you're in school. And what are the required number of units that you have to take to be able to qualify?
Well, you have to take a full load of units. Depends on the type of school you go to and the type of degree you are studying for. I have known people who stayed on a student visa for 15 years.
Wow!
And then got a green card.
Very good. That's very encouraging.
But it will not be. I believe it will not be possible stay on a student visa for an ESL school, like English as second language, for 15 years.
Yes. Another question, by the way, for people who are asking, we're talking to Attorney Golan of Popkin, Shamin Golan Law Offices.